9 p.m. in RTD's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the President of the National Assembly receives a Japanese delegation. Yemen after the passage of a cyclone, deadly floods. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the National Assembly, Muhammad Ali Mohammed, received a delegation of Japanese businessmen led by Mr. Koji Yamaguchi, Director General of Inspire Africa Association, an organization specialized in the production and marketing of innovative energy solutions. The delegation came to inquire and explore the many investment opportunities that Djibouti offers to private companies. Indeed, the framework of this visit is part of the expansion of its market beyond Asia Pacific and especially in Africa. The company intends to install light production and assembly unit in our free zones. At the end of a meeting that borne fruit and discussions focused on the investment opportunities offered by the Djibouti market. In this discussion, the President of the National Assembly stressed the desire of the Djiboutian government to see the Japanese private sectors come to invest in Djibouti, not without recalling the accessions of Djibouti to the Transparency Convention of the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and its membership of the OECD. The Secretary General of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, Mohammed Abdallah Mahyoub, participated today in the late morning in a meeting in a video conference of the 15th International Conference for Artificial Intelligence and Digital Empowerment for Education. The Director General of the ALESCO, Mohammed Ul Ammar, led the opening of the 15th International Conference for Artificial Intelligence and Digital Empowerment for Education. The meeting was attended by the Executive Secretary of the Quality Observatory, Mr. Mukhalid Abdelaziz. ALESCO side, the Deputy Directors Mohammed Jemni, as well as other officials and senior officials of ALESCO took part in the meeting. The conference addressed the importance of using digital technology and artificial intelligence to develop human skills, improve lifelong learning opportunities, increase access to education for all, and improve the quality of education through the use of advanced methods so to develop critical thinking and creative skills. After the Guled Stadium, it was the turn of the Djibouti Handball Federation to benefit from the donations of sports equipment from the Italian Civil and Military Corporation. The ceremony took place at the gymnasium of the State of High School of Djibouti in the presence of the Secretary General of the State Secretariat for Sports, Ms. Khadija Ibrahim Idrissa, the President of the Djiboutian Handball Federation, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed, as well as the Lieutenant Colonel Biggie and of other officers of the Italian Army stationed in Djibouti. While handing over the equipment, Mr. Biggie noted the strength of Djibouti-Italian friendships. It is, he said, a pleasure for him to offer this equipment to the Handball Federation, whose efforts and good results he praised. He took the opportunities to encourage the dynamism of young Djiboutian athletes for whom this aid is granted so that they can flourish. For his part, the president of the Djibouti Handball Federation thanked the donors before insisting on the fruitful partnership between the two parties that he hopes and wishes to see continues. As part of the launch of the accelerated immunization strategy initiated by the Ministry of Health on September 20, 2021, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Assowe, undertook to have all her staff vaccinated according to a schedule established by the Ministry of Health. A mobile team went this morning to the headquarters of the Ministry of Youth and Culture to provide the Janssen vaccine to the many volunteers. This strategy is in line with the policy of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, who faced with the increase in COVID-19 positive cases, as well as the arrival of the Delta variant, which is considered worrying by the international community, has urged the whole government to act together to curb these scourges. The Ministry of Health is continuing its vaccination campaign, accelerated vaccination campaign against COVID-19, and thanks to the Vaccinobus, it is able to reach out to populations that cannot always travel to vaccination centers. According to a pre-established schedule, the Vaccinobus went to the commune of Bulaos on Thursday, October 7, and more particularly to the District 5, where a large population benefited from the vaccination against COVID-19. On site, a doctor and 2 nurses take care of the candidates for the vaccine. As in all the usual vaccination centers, candidates undergo a medical interview before receiving the available vaccines, and they wait quarters of an hour to prevent possible side effects. More than 1,000 candidates have benefited from the vaccination campaign thanks to the Vaccinobus set up by the Ministry of Health. For the 11th consecutive years, Al-Rahma Hospital in Balbala has carried out during the last week a medical caravan to repair cliff lip and cliff plate in favor of 26 people, the majority of whom are small children and young adults. This charity project, funded by the NGO Al-Rahma, the non-governmental organization, is an international and benefactors of Kuwait, was implemented by a consultant in plastic surgery, namely Dr. Muhammad Al-Khulaybi, who came from outside Djibouti, and Dr. Ahmed Uthman, ENT consultant at the hospital. This initiative is a continuation of the medical convoys carried out by Al-Rahma Hospital over the past 10 years to keep pace with the efforts of the Ministry of Health, which aims to bring specialized care to patients in various specialties, especially poor families and people with a limited income. In this regard, this generous gesture was welcomed by the technical advisor to the Minister of Health, Mr. Ahmed Hamad Mohammed, who was informed last Thursday of the health status of patients benefiting during their periodic visit to the hospital to complete treatment. Mr. Mohammadi was received by the regional directors of the NGO Rahma in Djibouti, Abdul Ghani Al-Qureshi, and the director of Hospital Al-Rahma, Dr. Muhammad Al-Sharqawi. The parents expressed their thanks and appreciations to Al-Rahma Hospital and to the Djiboutian government headed by the President of the Republic for adopting this noble initiative. For his part, the regional director of the non-governmental organization Al-Rahma International in Djibouti, Mr. Abdul Ghani Al-Qureshi, expressed his great pleasure for the success of all the surgeries for the treatment of cleft lip and cleft palate, which were performed by Al-Rahma Hospital for the 11th consecutive years under the supervision of the Ministry of Health. We have done everything to provide a conducive atmosphere for this medical convoy, both in terms of specialists and in providing state-of-the-art equipment and supplies, said Mr. Al-Qureshi. He also emphasized the close cooperation between the hospital and the Ministry of Health, which spares no effort to support all the programs and activity of these medical buildings to enable it to contribute to the health coverage of the citizens. For his part, the technical advisor of the Minister of Health, Mr. Ahmed Mohammadi, welcomed in a brief intervention on national television. This medical caravan for cleft lip and cleft palate surgery, which this time benefited 26 people aged from 6 weeks to 15 years. I visited Al Rahma Hospital, during which I inspected the situations of the beneficiaries of the surgery to repair cliff lip performed free of charge by Al Rahma Hospital, confirmed Mr. Mohammadi. He also praised the good relations and close cooperation between the Ministry of Health and Al Rahma Hospital, which provides high quality health care to the population in various medical specialties. It is very hot. Our productivity suffers. We have troubled getting around towns, and we would like to reverse the situation. The Japanese champions of the new technology have found the solutions for several to put in place the jacket. We let him work all mornings. These are powered by a battery that 8 hours of autonomy, a fuel powers, and all removable. But what noticed Hassan Ali, constructionist worker, said for his part, it is very positive. The difference is huge, and we are working together, and we have prepared a magazine to discover this garment that continues to be hit in Japan and in many countries that have adopted Mr. In intervention is that the road of siesta with these jackets. I felt that it is very useful. I am talking about the vest. I am conditioner. I have air conditioners has already begun. The difference is so great that one will not think about the great the BCMR organized a day of meeting with the traders of the region of Ali Sabih in the presence of Mr. Regis Periac, General Manager, Mr. Frédéric Samit, Sales Manager, and the team of the commercial line and the officials of the regions, in this case the prefect, Mr. Musa Adam Migane, the president of the regional council, Omar Ahmed Al-Ais, and the honorable Member of Parliament, Abdi Khair Bouha. This day aimed at sensitizing the local traders on the opportunities and advantages offered by the BCMR to promote the local economy in all sectors of activity. The day also allowed traders to exchange with the general management on various topics. The traders were able to share their expectations and their ambitions to install a sustainable and solid relationship with the only Djiboutian bank. The general manager, Mr. Regis Periac, promised that the BCMR will be at the side of each traders and young entrepreneurs to accompany them in their projects. Goodwill of the diaspora of Ali Sabih origin, established in Europe, organized a ceremony to declare the sponsorship of 100 students of the middle schools of Ali Sabih. The ceremony took place in the middle school of Ali Sabih in the presence of the prefect of the region, Musa Adam Migane, the president of the regional council, Omar Ahmed Al-Ais, the member of parliament, Abdi Khair Bouh, the new president of the Asajok Diaspora Association, Mr. Omar Mahmoud Ismail, of the local elected officials of the regional council. We also note the presence of the principal of the college, Ahmed Jama, the lucky beneficiaries of the sponsorship, who are 100 and from families with modest resources, and all attending the CM of Ali Sabih. In the northern region of Tajura, the Association of Women committed to the protection of the environment, known by the acronym AFEP, chaired by Medina Salah, is organizing a community action day in the White City, and all the women of Tajura, the president of the association, Medina Salah, thanked the prefect Hassan Dabale and the president of the regional council, Omar Hussein, and also all the participants of this community action day. Following patrol operations to monitor the maritime coastline, the Djiboutian Coast Guard teams intercept fishing vessels engaged in illegal fishing activity in Djibouti waters early on 9 October 2021 at around 4 p.m. Thus, three fishing boat and 17 crew members, all of Yemeni origin, were intercepted during this operation. A significant quantity of fish of different species was also on board the fish boat. The investigation was entrusted to the Brigade of Research's investigation on judicial affairs of the Coast Guard, while the fishing boat were placed in seizure pending a decision of justice. For the international scene, floods caused by torrential rains have swept through the city of Mukalla in Yemen, killing one person and causing extensive damage. Local officials said Thursday the torrential rain began on Wednesday evening in this city in the south of the war-torn country after the passage of the cyclone Shaheen in the Gulf regions. Early this week, rather downgraded to a tropical storm. Yesterday we were surprised by the rain, and there was no preparations from the governors and local authorities. The rain was heavy and scary. Some neighborhoods were completely destroyed and many cars were damaged, said this shocked resident. More French investment projects in sports structures in African countries. During the Africa-France summit in Montpellier, President Emmanuel Macron promised to allocate 4 million euros to sports academy in Africa on sports. How do we invest today? What the French Development Agency does, we invest alongside existing academies and academies that are developing. It does not go through government, explains Emmanuel Macron, and so we will continue to invest. We have a program of 4 million euro from the French Development Agency to go from 4 academy to 13 academy, and this program is a program that is on the ground, continued the French president. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.